Yes, and Gary Ayres obviously not right. He's having a lot to say there to a couple of the Melbourne defenders, Todd Viney and Graham Yates.
A lot of hot airs.
It has been a great performance, though, Hawthorn, being this close against Melbourne, just about at full strength.
Well, Ayres really rubbed it in after he kicked that goal. A bit of jostling behind play. Now 1 point the difference. Melbourne in front. Hawthorn courageous today. Melbourne out of the centre circle. Down goes Lovett. Di Domenico. Whitman just about threw it out. Lawrence missed it. Lovell goes backwards. Condon for Hawthorn. Delayed the hand pass. Took the jolt. Advantage paid. The free was going to be given. It's taken by Deere. Greg Deere to half forward. Anderson runs onto it. Over the top. Ayres or Platten. Ayres still after it. Great stuff by Ayres. He flips it out to Platten, but he's been free kicked for throwing it. And it just seems that umpire Chris Mitchell is the one having all the tough decisions today. He's reported players. He's given 50-metre penalties. He's ruled on throws, and that was a vital one near goal, although Platten's kick did miss.
Let's have a look at that again. There's a scoop. Yeah, definite backhand scoop there by Gary Ayres.
Free kick to Lyon.
He's in the left back pocket, Gary Lyon, on report. Abusing the umpire. Greg Deere over the top. Newport gained a couple of metres. Glenn Lovett back to Newport from centre wing. He goes down towards half forward. Wilson going back with a flight of the ball. Crashing into the pack was Cooper. Only as far as Lovell. Superbly charged down by Di Domenico. Takes on the tackler. Eichel got him. Ball jarred free. Holding the ball, says the umpire. Gee, that was a quick whistle.
It's good to see that the umpire does pay those free kicks, Dennis, because Di Domenico went to fend off the tackler, Eichel, and he was caught. And I fully support it.
Langford got him. Lawrence hard against the boundary line, the big fellow. More risky. Whitman missed it. They come from all angles. Phoebe charged down by Whitman. Langford goes back. Was he limping? And the ball's out of bounds.
He was shepherding that ball out. Did pretty well.
So we've got a boundary throw in, left full forward. Hawthorn coming at Melbourne. They've added 2 goals in this term. Melbourne 1. Lovett going nowhere. Cooper missed it. Lovell came out. Condon over the ball. Gets rid of it quickly. Cooper goes off the ground out wide. Stretch leads back in the race.
Stretch with Madigan. They've been on each other since Madigan came on early in the second quarter. Stretch flicks back. No whistle for that one. The crowd wants a free kick. No mark to Whitman. Schwab. Play on, says the umpire. It's still on. Madigan caught by Steins. Umpire says you're holding it, Madigan. Free kick to Steins. One point the margin, the Demons in front. Steins short pass. Lovell. Not quite. Tucks back there in defence. The veteran captain across the ground, looking for Deere. O'Dwyer spoils. Cooper's there, and Glenn Lovett. All out of play. Throw in.
It's been a great contest. Both sides have given their all. Hawthorn, with their backs to the wall, have really come out fighting here today.
On the 50-metre line, a further chance for Melbourne. Di Domenico doing ruck work. Ball back out of bounds.
As we said earlier, not a pretty game, but a marvellous pulsating affair.
Zeke pumped up. Look at the eyes.
Boundary throw in. Steins and Lawrence. Steins comes again. Phoebe knocks it back towards the middle. Wilson gains about 15 metres. Langford got his fist to it. Tuck. Got it down to Collins. Well directed. Collins hard against the boundary line. Looking for Pritchard. Stretch arrives and gets it out of bounds.
Brilliant play by Andy Collins. Would have been easy to rush a behind, but in a close game, a behind could cost you the points. So he's gained 50 metres instead.
Melbourne lead by a solitary point. The flags around the ground, hanging limply. Steins, Di Domenico. Hurried kick. Paul Deere slides to take the mark.
Out to Pritchard. Down the boundary line. Lyon leads the race. Couldn't quite take the mark on Morrissey. Gary Lyon in the book for chatting the umpire earlier this quarter. Also in the book for being struck by Dermot Brereton in the opening 5 minutes of the game. Deere wins. Lyon fumbles, picked up by Condon. Condon goes to open spaces. Ayres from full forward. No mark. Jenke after it. Socket away by Viney. Pritchard's in there. Everyone getting bruises to get a kick. Pritchard no exception. Platten with Tingay. Tingay did pretty well then to find the boundary line.
Well, Yates has been moved off Johnny Platten. Tingay now with the job. I think Johnny Northey's a little bit worried about the way Melbourne are performing at the moment.
John Platten today has had 9 kicks and 1 hand pass, 2 goals.
Dwyer fisting away from the boundary throw in. This is Collins. Got a fine game. Pulls it back across his body. Spalding. Almost the mark. Not paid. And Platten runs it across the boundary line. Just over 3.5 minutes remaining in this third term. Greg Deere and O'Dwyer, as they've done all day, battle again. It falls at their feet. Paul Deere trying to crash his way through. Knocked on by Condon. Down to Anderson. Open goal. And he puts it through. Hawthorn lead. Hawthorn 8-4. Melbourne is 7-5.
Been a great quarter of football, Dennis, this third quarter by Hawthorn. 3 goals to Melbourne's 1. And they're playing with half a side off the ground when you consider Dunstall and Brereton. It's just about half their side. Anderson, who's been a very good running player. Condon makes a big difference to this Hawthorn side. And with him back in, he's made a big difference to the packs and around the on-ball players.
Hawks by 5 points. You only had to see the delight on the faces of Hawthorn players after their last 2 goals to see how badly they want to win this game. This is like a grand final for them. They haven't lost 2 in a row since 1987, the Hawks. They're not going to give this one up easily. Thrashed last week. Pritchard goes to ground. Off the ground by Stretch. Around the boundary line, but over it.
Had some time, too.
Just under 3 minutes remaining to 3/4 time. Domenico, nobody standing his mark. Up to Pritchard. Great kick by Domenico. Pritchard knocked off the mark. Paul Deere back to Condon. Condon's kick to the 50-metre line. No height there for Hawthorn. There's a push out. It's going to be a Hawthorn free kick. A Melbourne free kick, rather. To Tingay. It was gone back onto John Platten. Short pass over the head of Steins. Plenty of backup from Brett Lovett. Sweeping hand pass. Just reaches Yates, who's gone up to the wing now. Good running. Viney. Viney's kicked low to the 50. In front is the veteran Michael Tuck, and he beats Wilson to it.
Plays on quickly to Tuck towards midfield. Anderson, who kicked the last goal, takes the mark. Immediately plays on, swings it out wide. 2-on-1 situation here. Condon's got it. Paul Deere breaking outside. Now it's Cooper who's peeled off. Cooper's got the ball now. Well shepherded by Morrissey. Great mark taken in defence down there by Lovett. That's Glenn Lovett. So players of both sides giving everything. Glenn Lovett out of defence. Back to centre wing. All Hawthorn. Missed by Cooper. Spills wide. Lawrence does well. Gets it across to Condon. Anderson's got it now. He's at right half forward. Not a good kick. Glenn Lovett's in the road. Tackled by Paul Deere. Ball jarred free. Good shepherd by Spalding. Bought some time for Campbell, who socked off the ground and put it out of bounds.
I don't know about that one, Dennis. I thought Glenn Lovett just dropped the ball like a hot potato there when he was about to be tackled.
8-4-52, 7-5-47. Just over a minute remaining. Can Hawthorn get another one? Brett Lovett from Steins. A high kick back towards midfield. Whitman couldn't hang on. Lovell's over the ball. Madigan does well. Condon couldn't control it. Goes back in again. Well fought there by Eichel to tie it up. And we'll have a bounce. Well, a remarkable game.
There always seems to be Hawthorn players, though, at the bottom of the pack and cleaning up. Whenever the ball spills free, it always seems to be Hawthorn who are winning the ball and moving it forward.
Deere to Condon, who's had a great quarter. Diving mark by Jenke. Ray Jenke. Up to full forward. Ayres is there. Leaps high. Punches down. Comes back to Ayres. He goes for goal. Gets it. 2 goals in this quarter to the injured Gary Ayres, moved to full forward.
And a very timely goal, that one too, with only 16 seconds remaining on the clock in this third quarter. Ray Jenke, the player, kicking the ball up. Gary Ayres flying for the mark, and then it spills down to him, backing it up. A clever kick for goal, kept it low, knew that it would skid off the very wet surface here at VFL Park.
Championship quality written all over Hawthorn today. Fighting huge odds. And this is a big break in a low-scoring game. Time just about out. 10 seconds left. Maybe the Hawks can get another one. Anderson, Platten after it. He goes to ground. Jenke runs onto it. Goes for goal. And he's offline, Jenke, for a behind. And that is three-quarter time. Alan Jeans would be proud of his boys now. At three-quarter time, Hawthorn 9-5 to 7-5. Lovell's had 20 possessions. Start of the final term, and the Hawks lead by 2 goals. Lights have been on since half-time. Almost night football here at VFL Park. Newport, kick across the ground. Didn't mean it, though. Comes to Pritchard. He puts it out in front of Jenke, who marks on his chest 65 metres from goal. Platten trying to get free of his opponent. Jenke comes into centre half forward, but O'Dwyer dropping back, taking a good overhead mark. Comes up short. Oh, they've waited for it there, Melbourne. It's almost come unstuck. Brett Lovett back to O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer's kick. Short of half forward. Dippy to Domenico. Whoa! Bang! Down he goes. Play-on, says the umpire. Anderson there. Good tackle by Obbs. O'Dwyer for the 3rd time. Eishold to Wilson. Open for Melbourne. Wilson's kick for Bennett. Well, Bennett started like a rocket. Had 3 goals to quarter time and nothing since.
Oh, the vital kick now for Melbourne. A must goal for Darren Bennett.
This for goal number 4 to get Melbourne back within a goal. Just about right over the right goalpost, but he's missed it. So it's 3 goals, 3 to the man who was second on the goal kickers list, with the men who were 1st and 3rd both injured.
Michael Tuck to bring it in. Misting rain starting to fall again as Tuck goes in short. Schwab, who's on report, takes the mark. Untidy hand pass opportunity for Melbourne. Wilson into the path of Healy. Hits the hand pass away. Steins in traffic. Scrambles the kick forward down towards the pocket. Out of bounds on the full. So the depleted Hawthorn side still coming at Melbourne. Taking the game by the scruff of the neck in the 3rd term. Put the acid on the Demons, who didn't like it. Cooper runs it out, chips it over the top. Dippy Domenico, left half back, a little indecisive, gets around Brett Lovett. Long kick down towards left half forward. Morrissey, who's been quiet, traps it nicely to Paul Deere, who's tried very hard. Scrambles it towards half forward. O'Dwyer reaching over the top, dropped it. Platten, open goal. Going back is Hughes, he won't get there in time. John Platten gets his 3rd. How about that for ecstasy? Hawthorn 10-5, Melbourne 7-6. They're bucking all the odds.
There's Johnny Platten there with the dash that he had last season. He's suddenly found it once that knee brace has been taken off. Paul Deere, who's tried very hard on the forward line. A couple of Melbourne players getting in each other's way there. And there's a dash that we've become accustomed to with Johnny Platten. Great roving off the pack in that forward pocket.
Well, Hawthorn have won the last 2 grand finals. Don't do that without being a champion team, and they're proving it here today. Brilliant. Great little tap on by Whitman to Anderson. Platten in the forward pocket again. Tingay is marksman. Yates was moved off Johnny Platten. Platten starring. Centering kick. Courage by Anderson. Top mark.
That was a great mark in these conditions too, because the ball is very slippery at the moment. Let's have a look at that again. Great courage, running with the flight of the ball. And the one grab Gives Dean Anderson a shot at goal from about 40 metres out.
This misty rain is almost like a fog. If it gets any thicker, we might be able to see the play by the end of the game. Hawthorn dominated the third quarter to convert an 8-point deficit to a 12-point lead. And here they go for their second goal of this final quarter. Anderson gets it. His second for the day. Big break in wet conditions. 11-5 to 7-6.
Yes, and Melbourne are really battling to get goals on the board. They've only kicked one goal since half-time. Hawthorn did all the attacking in that third quarter. And it's been players like Anderson, Condon, Platten, the smaller players who have excelled in these conditions. It's been a game full of character by the Hawks.
Emotional stuff. Hawthorn without their two champions on the forward line. Gary is reduced to running around on the forward line on one leg, and still they're pulling away from the Demons. Tuck carried forward surely, and he'll get the free kick.
He's a master of winning those free kicks, Michael Tuck.
Chip out wide. Collins has got it. They're all over Melbourne at the present time. Long kick towards half forward. Paul Deere goes back. Hughes a fist out wide. Morrissey and Campbell. Morrissey does well. Dragged off it by Campbell. Phoebe at close quarters to Healy. Glenn Lovett's got it on the outer side. Sweeping hand pass. Newport. He's on centre wing. Dragged down. As a result, the kick fell in short. Schwab goes after it, showing desperation in their alone Melbourne player. And we've got a ball up. That's Obst back on the ground in more ways than one.
That's where they've missed out today, Dennis, Melbourne, around the packs. The Ruck Rovers and Roving division have been non-existent.
Haven't matched the determination of the champion Hawks. Schwab out wide. Pritchard's got it now. He's at right half forward. Long kick. Ayres is in front. Hughes comes over the top. It falls to Platten. He's already got three. Running away from his own goal. Pulls it back across his body. Down towards the pocket. Out comes Stretch.
Stretch along the ground. Comes to Platten again. 60 metres out. His kick smothered. Campbell did well to smother and then soccer off the ground to Newport. Newport's pass across the ground to Wilson. Chance for the Demons to set something up here. Oh, he's caught by Di Domenico. Just gets past him. Off to Obst. Poor hand pass. Lyon had to wait for it. Lyon keeps it low to the forward line. Marshall there. Well done by Cooper. In his first season of league football, not that young. He's 22 years of age. Got the jumper out, the socks down, and he is just a typical hard-nosed AFL defender. Steins and Lawrence. Di Domenico. Just couldn't pick up a greasy ball, and we'll have another throw-in.
Been a good performance by Di Domenico today as well. His enthusiasm has been carried through to the other Hawthorn players. 5
marks, 16 kicks and 6 handballs.
Boundary throw in. Steins back towards centre half forward. Wilson goes off the ground. Langford's in front, couldn't control it. Healy, a little toe poke. Bennett running away from his own goal. Obst at close quarters to Newport. Under pressure. Well played by Langford. And again, Melbourne can make nothing of it. Away comes Langford. Side foots it back through the centre. Whitman's got the run of it. Right centre wing. Tackled by Stretch. Gets the hand pass away. Playing the percentages. Pritchard out of mid-air. Jenke now. Jenke, right half forward, is centering kick. Where's Ayres? He's in front. Platten's behind. Problems for Melbourne. Platten deep in the pocket. Harris out of it. And he snuck it through for a behind. Well done by Tingay. John Platten has been lively. He's looking happier. Alan Jeans. They're in trouble early, but they have stuck at it.
Hughes kicks in very wide for Wilson. Not a bad kick by Hughes. 60 metres. Wilson's kick to centre wing. Obst. Ball skims off the wet grass. He's tackled immediately. The pressure's been great all day. Steins into Newport. Newport had to blaze away. Healy. That man Cooper again. Ball out of play. Crowd of 39,701 here today. And it looks as though the Hawks will triumph. They lead 72-48. Gathered by Yates, who was moved off Platten. Ball held to him. The umpire will ball it up.
Graham Yates beaten by Platten earlier. Playing up the ground now and playing her. Rucks go at it. Steins. They work it forward. Brett Lovett gets the hand pass away to Glenn Lovett. But only as far as Tuck, who's played a wonderful game. Swings it out wide. Rebound opportunity for the Hawks now. Who'll be first to arrive? Morrissey. And it's socket away though. Cooper's got it now. High up and under from right half back. Paul Diaz in front, reaching over the top. Campbell. Condon through the traffic. Newport over the top. Paul Diaz. Pritchard picks it up. Obst has got him. Ball jarred free. Obst hard against the boundary line. Phoebe couldn't hang on. I've got a whistle. I think he was going to pay the mark. Charged down superbly by Tuck. Morrissey in the grass. Couldn't get the kick off. Lyon crashes in. Standing his ground was Tuck. Scrambled across the ground there by Melbourne. It was Stretch. Yates fisting towards half forward. Schwab beckoning Cooper to come on. Such is the confidence. Out wide to Dippy and Domenico. A roar from the crowd as he centres this one. Whitman's got it now.
Chris Whitman goes wide for Ayres again. How did he get that far out in the open? A man who can hardly run.
Well, Danny Hughes has been criticised in the past for being very loose. And on that occasion he gave Gary Ayres 15 to 20 metres to work in.
Well, Ayres has been better since he was injured and moved down to the forward line. Gary Ayres from 50 metres leans back on this one. A beauty! 3 goals to Gary Ayres. And the Hawks bolting away.
Oh, that's amazing, isn't it? Gary Ayres moved down to full forward after he hurt his leg there in that third quarter. Kicked 2 goals when he was moved down to full forward in the third quarter. And an amazing torpedo with a heavy ball just on the 50-metre line. He's kicked that a good 55 to 60 metres, Gary Ayres.
Remarkable game of football. Remarkable team. Hawthorn. Condon. Lawrence misses it. Stretch sliding in. Gets it for Melbourne. And we've got a whistle. Coming in, they were underdogs at quarter time. Long odds against. Eishold, as far as Lyon, he couldn't control it. Whitman trying to go off the ground. Oh, and that's a nasty one for Whitman. It fell awkwardly across his leg. He seems to be okay. Eishold coming up with the ball. 15 minutes remaining. Steins and Lawrence, nicely done by the youngster. Newport. Madigan's got it now. Strong tackle by Eishold, got him down. Spills across to Brett Lovett, who's gone right out of the game. Standing kick towards half forward. Dippy and Domenico. Right over the top of Healy. They're inspired, the Hawks. Kick out wide. Madigan stands his ground. Yates was bearing down. He takes the mark. He's on centre wing. In the gloom of VFL Park. Madigan towards half forward. Push out, was it? Morrissey got rid of his opponent. No free kick. Down towards the pocket off the boot of Hughes. It's gone out of bounds on the full. And the danger man Platten to take the kick.
Could have been a push out there, Dennis. I agree with you against Morrissey there.
Well, Platten's kicked 3. He hasn't run on the ball. He's been in the forward pocket. This from 45 metres on the boundary line. They can do no wrong. A stunning performance by the Hawks. 13-6 to 7-6.
Yes, it's been an amazing turnaround by Hawthorn after last week's scrubbing by Carlton. Johnny Platten's been an excellent player. Virtually stayed in the forward pocket all day. Had only a brief run on the ball. He's kicked 4 goals, and Gary Ayres moved down to full forward. Has kicked 3 goals after that injury in the third quarter.
Well, at half-time, Melbourne led by 8 points. Since then, Hawthorn have kicked 8-4 to 1-2 to turn this game upside down. If Melbourne had won, they'd have been 3 games clear of the Hawks. That was the only incentive Hawthorn needed. Now they'll be within 1 game of them and boxing on right there in the top 5. Also, they haven't lost 2 in a row since 1987. and with their backs to the wall at the start of the game, not to mention Brereton reported and off injured, and Dunstall off injured in the first 10 minutes of the game. This has been sensational. Schwab, marked by Lyon. Gary Lyon just forward of the centre. Tries a big one. End-on-end kick. Sliding mark by Glenn Lovett. Outside 50, too far out to score. Bennett back in the goal square. Spalding back on the ground as well. Bennett can't mark. It spills to Eichel. Showed courage there. Spalding. Couldn't get boot to ball. Hawthorn relentless. Schwab out of defence.
Back towards half-back. Yates hard against the boundary line. To Steins. Madigan beat 3 of them. Madigan ties it up for the Hawks. And that really puts in a capsule all we've seen today, certainly in the second half. And the frustration showing from Melbourne.
Well, it was Hawthorn with the frustration early in the game, but it's been taken over by Melbourne. Jimmy Steins hasn't had a great day. Fumbled it a couple of times, a couple of 50-metre penalties.
Collins and Yates, two of the premier back pocket players in the league, going at it. And Yates is racing in the blindfold.
They normally wouldn't get within 150 metres of each other. They're both playing different roles at the moment.
Listen to that crowd. They've been spoiled over the years, Hawthorn supporters, but what a day it's been. A remarkable performance. 13-6 to 7-6. There's the time remaining, and now Yates is getting a free kick. Obviously, a couple of Hawthorn players still wanting to go on with it. So Yates, oh, that's a lazy kick to Stretch. Stretch right half forward. High kick. Steins in from the side. In fact, Spalding was the man who decided to go. Eichel, a brilliant tackle. Langford gets the hand pass away to Collins to Dipia Domenico. It goes for the boundary and it skids out of bounds and will be thrown in. Well, that tackle by Greg Deer down there, inspirational stuff, and they've done that all day as well.
Well, sport all about heroes. There are plenty of heroes out there today in the golden brown jumper. Quick hand pass to Newport. I had no intention of getting rid of it. Just charged straight at an opponent. Wilson caught, then quiet since he came on. Spills back to Eichel. He's blocked by Tuck. Tuck, brilliant. He's kicked back to the centre of the ground. Paul Deer tries to paddle on. It's taken by Campbell. Bang, back to centre half forward. Tapped out by Bennett, but all Hawthorn. Collins with time. Away to Cooper. Cooper's kick to centre wing. Platten charges up from the forward line. Beats 2 of them, John Platt. Will take a free kick. Grabbed when he didn't have it.
Great game, Johnny Platten.
Oh, welcome back to centre stage. 4 goals in a great display in the forward pocket. Kick not great. Dropped by Viney. Glenn Lovett. And the ball out of play again. Just over 10.5 minutes left. No hope for Melbourne to get back into it. It's 84 to 48.
The Demons just 1 goal since half-time. Spalding is coming off the ground. Dwyer comes back on. Meantime, with the action, Steins won it down. Collins held without it. Will he get the free kick? Yes, he will. What a game he's played. Done the hard stuff and ran all over the ground.
25 possessions, Andy Collins, playing on the ball today, away from the back pocket.
I think he's my choice as best on ground. Goes down towards the pocket. Pritchard threw himself at the ball. It bounces out of bounds and will have a throw in. Just over 10 minutes remain then. 84 to 48. Jim Steins. Steve Lawrence. Steins gets a fist on it. Eichel. Oh, what a great tackle. He was hurt in the tackle too. Laid by Collins. And to add insult to what was an injury, Collins has got the ball on the outer side. There's Eichel. They have just cramped up. Hope that's the case. Towards the pocket. Paul Deer. Down goes Platten. Knocks it out. Off the ground, Morrissey. Didn't go very far. Morrissey gets another opportunity. Phoebe's in there. Campbell. Took a while to get the ball out. Morrissey tracks it back towards the boundary line. He's got it now. Well, momentarily. Lovett's kick is charged down by Condon and we'll have a throw in. Misting rain still coming down steadily. But things are bright and sunny as far as the Hawks are concerned.
They're in 5th place on the ladder prior to today. Melbourne on top with just 1 defeat in 8 rounds. Free kick here to Lawrence. Pretty hard to see. Lawrence taking it a long way back. I think he's too far out to score. Still, Ayres and Platten and others kicked impossible goals, so maybe Lawrence can kick one too. Offline, away to the right for a behind. Brian Coleman with Alan Jeans. Gee, they'd be proud of their boys today. Kick in, marked by Obst at half-back flank. Little to play for now for Melbourne, although they started with a healthy percentage. They'd like to get a couple and narrow the gap. Dippia Domenico marks in the centre of the ground. Plays on. Great stuff. Puts it wide for Platten. He's got it again. Not a mark this time, but he's pretty slippery, John Platten. Goes to ground. Tingay gains a few metres and the ball out of play. Melbourne need the ball in. And John Platten, injured in the Foster's Cup match against the Swans at Canberra pre-season. Missed the early part of the year, then came back with a knee brace. He shed the brace today and has run around like a 2-year-old. And
doesn't Robert Dippia Domenico excel in these big games?
Well, he does. I really think that last year's premiership was down to Brereton and Dippia Domenico, who both battled on through injury. Here's Condon approaching 50. Ayres in front. Well, Ayres and Platten are engaging in a goal-kicking competition. Ayres unselfishly to the goal square, and Anderson. Anderson can get into it too because he'll be kicking for his 3rd. 2 in this last quarter. The rain gets heavier and Melbourne's plight worsens. Anderson from point-blank range. A hat-trick for him. Brilliant Hawthorn, 14-7. It's 5 goals to nothing this quarter.
Yes, it's been a great second half of football by Hawthorn. 9 goals to Melbourne's 1. And Melbourne really haven't looked like kicking a goal in this second half. Bennett with 3 goals in the first quarter has been quiet since then. Langford well on top. But Hawthorn won it round the packs. Anderson, one of those players with 3 goals.
Well, if ever a team came to play, it was Hawthorn today. They were ready. Outstanding performance by them. 14-7 to 7-6. So 1-1 since half-time from the Demons. Bounce back in the middle. Dia and O'Dwyer. Awkward one for Dia. He's camped underneath it. O'Dwyer wins it wide of the congestion. Healy to no one in particular. Schwab dragged off it. Greg Dia gets a kick high towards half forward. Phoebe's in front. Morrissey is with him. Anderson on the assist. Morrissey's got it now. All the time in the world, Morrissey. Centering kick. Platten's in front. Tingay gets a fist on it. Condon can't control it. Sliding in there, Melbourne. Eichel got the ball away. Healy over the top. Brett Lovett to Stretch. Dashing away from half back. Slippery ball. He lost it. Madigan goes off the ground. It cannoned into Healy. Went about 10 metres on. Back to Madigan. Ball knocked away from him. Opportunity for Newport. Going nowhere. And there'll be a ball up.
Hard, bruising game. Hawthorn have done it without their 2 star forwards. Ruck infringement. Hawthorn free kick to Greg Dia. Comes up with a grin. O'Dwyer was off the ground for about 3 minutes earlier this quarter. Back on. Wide for Dippia Domenico. Short pass over the top attempted. Schwab, who went in the book earlier on. His kick to Ayres again.
Danny Hughes has been moved off Ayres too, incidentally, in this last quarter. It just shows how well Gary Ayres has moved since being put at full forward.
Well, he kicked a 60-metre goal earlier. He tries again, and this time the torpedo gets away from him, out of bounds on the full. Gary Ayres has been used as a pinch hitter, going into the centre, and has turned many games there. But his effect this time at full forward has been remarkable. Deere missed that one. Comes to the back of the pack to Campbell. Campbell, high kick to centre wing. Wilson. Cooper got to the front, couldn't mark. Langford well up the ground. Dippier Domenico. Back to a nest of Hawks. Tuck takes it. Short pass to Schwab. Just takes the mark before Stretch came to spoil.
Schwab plays on quickly to Tuck. Runs through centre, kicks towards half forward. Collins, pay the mark. It's paid. He's cramped up. He'll take the kick, if in fact he can, from about 45 metres out.
Been an excellent performance by Andrew Collins, usually playing in the back pocket, but on the ball today, coming up for his 28th possession.
Marvellous game. Wants to take the kick and will.
Gee, those runners stand out on a day like today, don't they?
It's quite eerie, or it was a few minutes ago. The rain has eased a little bit. Collins, not a good kick, wobbles off the side of the boot. Big pack in the air. O'Dwyer roving that pack, gets it out of bounds in the right full forward pocket for the Hawks. Well, Melbourne led by 14 points at quarter time, 8 points at half time. Then Hawthorn turned the game on its ear in the third quarter. They led by 12 at three-quarter time, and that's where we are right now. There's the time remaining. Deer over the top, Platten an opportunity. Newport, hurried kick out of defence. Collins stands his ground in front. What a marvellous mark. Knows no fear, Andrew Collins. He'll kick from 55. Here's the target and he takes the mark. Well, they've been very indirect on occasions today, Hawthorn, but that's been forced on them because of personnel, or more particularly lack of personnel. And now Ayres, who's kicked 3 goals, is deep in the right full forward pocket. The way they're going, he'll go close from here. Slides it across the face, and Melbourne concede another score.
That's blotted his copybook. Dermot Brereton, a hip injury and reported.
Well, Melbourne since half-time have only had 3 shots at goal and 1 rushed, so that's the dominance of Hawthorn in their second half.
Condon, 40 metres from goal, comes off to Healy, back to the centre. Schwab charges at it, reaches it on the half volley. With him is Wilson. Gives away an easy free kick, Brian Wilson. The rain starting to clear for the end of the game, which is just under 3 minutes away. And these 18 standing Hawthorn players should be all cheered off the ground. Wilson to Glenn Lovett. Long kick to Steins at half forward. Too long. Lawrence sees it out and will have a throw in. Steve Lawrence will be singing tonight. I wonder if Edie Gourmet will be in the dressing room with him.
Boundary throw in. Steins is in front. Whitman over the face of Healy. Whitman goes again around the boundary line on the outer side. Newport only as far as Platten. High kick towards centre wing. Morrissey in front of Phoebe. Couldn't hang on. Condon tries to go off the ground. Morrissey claimed by Glenn Lovett. Ball jarred free. Paul Deer's in there. Back comes Lovett. Over the top, Greg Deer. Pritchard's hurt now, so star-studded is the group that have been hurt today. Hurt and or reported.
And you're talking state players. Brereton, Dunstall, Ayres, Platten, Pritchard.
Dwyer wins the tap away. Platten falls over. And once more the bounce. A feeling of anticlimax now. I think everybody slightly stunned by what Hawthorn have achieved here this afternoon. Greg Deer knocked on by Condon. Phoebe leads back in the race. Morrissey in close attendance. Phoebe trots it across the boundary line. So Melbourne will have to go away and regroup. Their second loss of the season. They started warm favourites today.
Maybe a bit top-heavy today, Dennis, too. Once the rain came with Steve O'Dwyer, Jimmy Steins, Earl Spalding. It's been the the ground level players that have won the game for Hawthorn today.
Greg Deere goes off the ground. Todd Viney missed it. Dippia Domenico waiting behind, gets the hand pass away. Here's that man again, Collins, back to Dippia Domenico. Clever little hand pass through to Jenke. Carried forward, was he? Not according to the umpire. Viney the hand pass away. Newport upended as he kicked. Stretcher's got it. Pulls it back, but only as far as Morrissey.
Morrissey, long kick to the forward line. Ayres waits at the back, gains possession. His hand pass is blocked. And Melbourne out of defence. Ayres after it again. Cooper with a great shepherd and a great tackle. Oh, well played, son. Free kick to Whitman. The last right's being played out now. Players going down all over the place with cramp. The latest casualty is Cooper. 4 seconds remaining. Too far out to score Whitman. Off the side of the boot. Doesn't have a chance to land. A great victory to the Hawks.
Well, a fantastic second half by Hawthorn. They set themselves today. Certainly he did, as did Ayres before him. And they're getting a standing ovation from their fans as they come off the ground. They were running out of players, and the players they lost were great players. But Hawthorn, a champion side, have won this game at VFL Park in most convincing style. Hawthorn 14-8, Melbourne 7-6.